The strong state equation, why America is repeating history's oldest mistake. For 5 centuries, humanity has been reliving the same scene over and over. States change, flags change, ideas change, but the script never does. A nation rises, grows, reaches its peak, then slowly decays from within and collapses. Spain, Britain, the Soviet Union, each was a superpower of its time, yet all 3 passed through the same 7-stage cycle of decline. Vast expansion, currency devaluation, debt spiral, decline in production, social fragmentation, currency collapse, and final downfall. Today, a new name is being added to that list, the United States of America. 1. Spain, collapse in the shadow of gold, 1500 to 1600. At the end of the 15th century, Spain stood at the center of the world. With Christopher Columbus's discoveries, tons of gold flowed from the Americas to Europe. This wealth made Spain the most powerful nation on earth. But the gold came not from production, but from exploitation. The riches that brought short-term prosperity ultimately paralyzed Spain's economy. People stopped producing. They were too rich to need to work. Trade slowed, industry declined, agriculture collapsed. Spain became addicted to gold, like an addict to a drug. To preserve its wealth, its rulers waged endless wars against the Dutch, the French, across the Mediterranean. Each war brought more debt, more inflation. Eventually, the royal treasury was empty. Gold had brought Spain not comfort, but ruin. By the end of the 17th century, the once mighty Spanish Empire was but a shadow of itself. 2. Britain from the Empire. Where the sun never set to a prisoner of debt, 1700 to 1950, Britain grew through production, the opposite of Spain. It launched the Industrial Revolution, built vast trade networks, and wrapped the world in them. By the 19th century, it was called the empire on which the sun never sets. But that growth bred insatiable appetite. Britain expanded beyond what any nation could sustain, ruling from east to west, north to south. Maintaining such dominance became economically unbearable. 2 world wars shattered Britain's economy. Industrial production stalled, infrastructure crumbled, gold reserves were exhausted. The United States seized global leadership. The pound sterling gave way to the dollar. London to Washington. After the wars, the empire unraveled. India gained independence. Colonies broke free one by one. As new nations appeared on the map, an age of empires ended forever. Britain wasn't defeated on the battlefield. It was defeated in its balance sheets. It drowned in the very system it had built. The Soviet Union, the fading heart of ideological power, 1945 to 1991. The Soviet Union was an empire built on ideology. After World War II, it controlled over half of Europe and offered the world a new vision. But that vision rested not on human nature, but on dogma. Its centralized economy stifled competition and innovation. Production stagnated, living standards declined. Meanwhile, the state poured billions into its arms race with the United States. To keep up, the Soviets drained their resources. They fell behind technologically, agriculture collapsed, store shelves emptied. The mighty superpower could no longer feed its own citizens. By the late 20th century, the end was inevitable. The long, costly war in Afghanistan hastened the collapse. The Berlin Wall fell. The Eastern Bloc crumbled. And in 1991, the USSR, once the greatest military power on earth, disintegrated without a shot. The tanks were still strong, but the economy had long since died. The fall of the system wasn't ideological, it was numerical. 4. America. The new name in the cycle, 1945 to 2025. The United States is the most powerful nation of the 21st century, but every empire before it once claimed the same. After World War II, America became the global leader. The dollar became the world's reserve currency. Through military might, technology, and culture, it shaped the modern world. But the cycle began anew. As in past empires, production gave way to consumption, innovation to speculation. National debt has reached a record high, $36 trillion, hundreds of overseas bases, astronomical defense budgets. Society is dividing in two. The middle class is disappearing, trust is eroding. Like the empires before it, America insists, we are different, but history's answer never changes. No state can postpone the laws of economics forever. Final lesson, history does not forgive, it only records. History does not exist to glorify the strong. It exists to remind us of their mistakes. Spain was poisoned by the comfort of gold. Britain collapsed under the weight of its own greatness. The Soviets froze in their ideology. And now America is living through all of them at once. No empire ever recognizes its own fall. Life goes on. People work. Money is printed. Markets rise. But the foundations have already rusted. At some point, the system can no longer carry itself. And then history repeats. Perhaps America can still save itself, but the fallen powers whisper from the past. Every nation believes it will live forever, until one day it no longer does.